More, let's cross to the French presidential palace and France 24's Philippe Turle. Philippe, what's the latest?
Well, Antony, Blinken rolled up about an hour ago in some Chevrolet high security vehicles, well, one of them carrying him and a couple of others with his bodyguards and security staff, and they were met by Jean-Yves Le Drian, the French foreign minister, on the steps of the Élysée Palace. Went inside, and those talks with Emmanuel Macron are still going on. So we're well into an hour now of discussions between the two men. It's a grey day here in Paris. They were expecting showers of rain, but so far the rain hasn't managed to get as far as the Élysée Palace and the visit of Antony Blinken. But it's been a busy day for him, not only because he's meeting with Emmanuel Macron right now, but he met earlier on with Jean-Yves Le Drian, the French foreign minister, for talks there and a press conference. So it's not over yet. There are going to be other meetings taking place later on. Then, of course, after he leaves Paris, Antony Blinken is travelling on to Italy. So those talks with Emmanuel Macron trying to forge a new relationship with Europe after 4 years of Donald Trump in the White House. And I think both sides keen to smooth over the cracks and to try to create some new buoyancy between those relationships, or that relationship between Europe and the United States, but still no honeymoon for us.
Yeah, and he's had a busy day already. He earlier had exchanges that with young people on the digital news platform Brut.
Yeah, Brut, which Emmanuel Macron himself has been interviewed by. Antony Blinken doing very few interviews while he's here in Paris, not going to be answering any questions when he comes out of the Élysée Palace just behind me, whenever that's going to be a little bit later on this afternoon. Yes, he went to talk to young people at Brut. One of the most recurrent questions by those young people was, when can we go back to the United States? When will the COVID restrictions be lifted? That question has come back time and time again. It was a question that was also asked him during the press conference with Jean-Yves Le Drian a bit earlier on this afternoon. Well, there's no real positive good news for the moment, Francois. All that Antony Blinken is saying is that, yes, there will be a lifting of the restrictions. People will be able to go back to the United States without having to have tests. There won't be restrictions on flying into the country. But for the moment, there is no date, and nobody knows exactly when that date will be.
He says he hopes it'll be a matter of weeks, not months. Philip, so as we've said, he's fielded those questions in fluent French, laying on the charm, much as he did when he was in Berlin at his previous stop.
Yes, and depending on who you're talking to, of course, Antony Blinken is going to say you're the best something or other. In Berlin, he was saying that the Germans were the best friend of the United States. In France, he's saying they're the oldest friend of the United States. For example, with the British, he's saying they're the oldest ally of the United States and the best ally of the United States. So everyone is getting some kind of gratification, if you like. But I think there's a certain disappointment that because of the fact that Antony Blinken spent so much time in France, he's bilingual. It's a lot easier. Those discussions taking place behind me with Emmanuel Macron will be taking place in French and not with a translator between English and French. So that makes it all much easier. So there's disappointment, I think, on the part of the French that there's not a rekindling of a much stronger relationship, that France will be in a pole position over Germany. It appears that that policy, which is being directed by Joe Biden, the President of the United States, who's telling basically Antony Blinken what to do and what to negotiate, is that Germany is going to be the key ally in Europe, and France is still going to have to make do with second place behind Germany. But there will be no comparison to that bad relationship that the United States had with the European Union during the Trump years, and in particular the extra bad relationship that Donald Trump had with the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who will be the first European leader to be invited to the White House by Joe Biden before she leaves office later this year.